What short movie quote can people instantly recognize? I'll be back. My precious. Run Forrest run. May the force be with you. This is SPARTAAAAAAAAAAAAA. A wizard, Harry. You shall not pass. To infinity and beyond. Edit. LMFAO, 18.0K on a fucking burner account. No, I am your father. Say hello to my lil friend. Nee. Keep the change, ya filthy animal. Life is like a box of chocolates. Edit. Apparently I stand corrected and it was like a box of chocolates, not is. But at least it was still recognizable. Are you not entertained? I see dead people. 'Tis but a scratch. Follow the yellow brick road. Inconceivable. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Clever girl. What is something you've done purely out of the goodness of your heart, but have never told anyone? Waiting to see my doctor. I see an elderly man with a walker talking to a driver service for seniors, handicap people about getting him a ride home. Apparently there was a mix-up and they couldn't get a driver there. My doctor called me in and when I came out, the elderly man was still there talking to the driver service. I told the guy if he trusts me I'll take him home. He responded, but I haven't seen the doctor yet. I told him I'll wait. Dude looked like he was going to cry. He was actually a really nice man and it was a pleasant ride. I went to the website, onesimplewish.org, which specializes in providing foster kids with things they wouldn't ordinarily get. An 11-year-old was asking for a bike for his birthday, but his foster family couldn't afford to buy him one. For less than $200 I paid for the kid's new bike. Edit. Thank you all for your kind words and, for those of you with the financial means, for your donations. I've seen documentaries about the foster care system and it's a struggle for so many of these kids who lack not only monetary resources, but the stability that comes with having a family to provide support and guidance. And that continues even after they age out the system and are expected to just know how to live as an adult. My friend from college was struggling to get the money to pay for his cat's surgery. We did everything we could to raise the money. I even asked my father to put this little donation box on his craft beer bar, but we were still missing a few bucks. My friend doesn't know it, but I added some really good money to the box before handling it to him and, OMG. I still remember how grateful he was when he saw the money was more than enough. He also told me, after the surgery, that he never believed we could make it but he saw the dedication I put into it and believed in me. My fiancée lost the ring I made her and she was super distraught about it. I handcrafted our rings myself, metal work. They are interlocking one-of-a-kind designed and made entirely by me. So she lost it and we couldn't find it. She was so sad since she loved it. I worked from home during the pandemic so every time she went to work I started to make a new ring. And in about 4 or 5 days I said I found it and handed her the one I made brand new. She still doesn't know. I'd like to keep it that way as well. I don't need her feeling terrible. On winter weekdays when I go downtown to practice the organ, there's usually a destitute man on the front steps of the locked church. When I unlock the door, I invite him in out of the cold and let him sleep on a cushioned pew in the relative warmth of the building while I practice or teach organ lessons. He's always very appreciative of the relief from being outside and leaves with obvious appreciation when it's time for me go. Saw a homeless guy walking on the sidewalk in the middle of a 100-degree day and it was clear that his feet were severely burned. He was hobbling and his feet were clearly sunburned. I had a brand new pair of shoes in my trunk so I pulled over and handed it to him. He literally cried and said that I would never understand what this meant to him. It broke my heart. I do IT work, usually small business and a lot of home repair. I have many wealthy clients and a few not so fortunate. It is not unusual for me to go to a home and it is obvious they are barely scraping by. So I either don't charge those people, or make it a nominal fee. I also refurb the old PCs and give them to people who have one that is not repairable. My best fee ever was a basket of homegrown Creole tomatoes. Damn, those things are delicious. I sneaked $50 into a woman's purse upon overhearing her tell her child that they couldn't afford peanut butter. Whenever I see a cashier having a tough day, I always look at the candy selection, if there is one, and look stumped as to what to get. I ask them, I can't decide. What's your favorite? I buy whatever they say, then hand it to them after the sale and tell them they're doing a great job and to have a great day. It perks them up every single time. It's my little thing. It's not much, but whenever I see a work of art online, be it a painting, drawing, original music, a dance, creative writing, etc., I always try to leave a small compliment, acknowledgement of their work because I know how much courage it takes to post your creative work online. If I am walking a trail and I see a tree or sapling is damaged, I do my best to either mend its injury or remove the broken part to let the tree grow unencumbered. It's rewarding to come back after a year or two to see the sapling you helped take good roots and refuse to wither. I saw this homeless man eating some pizza, and after we talked a bit, I let him use my shower and offered to let him sleep on my couch for the night. He declined the couch, but his laughter in the shower made me really smile. I've never told anyone this. I grew up with not a lot of money and definitely not in the best neighborhoods. My parents struggled with drug and alcohol abuse, so we never had any money. I got myself through college and finally landed a pretty good job. I was visiting a friend of mine who still lived in the same neighborhood and saw there was a Girl Scout table out in front of a convenience store. Nobody was really buying the cookies. I had just gotten my first bonus from work and had a couple $100 on me. After I left his place, I went over and bought $500 worth of Girl Scout cookies. The little girls were so excited. Over the next few weeks I just randomly gave all those boxes of cookies away. A lady was fleeing an abusive marriage without much more than her kids and the clothes on her back. Word went out within a whisper network requesting a few essentials she needed. Packed up several things from the request list and also one thing that wasn't requested. I make jewelry as a hobby. Put a pair of handmade earrings into a gift bag, silver and pearls. Added a handwritten note that every woman deserves something beautiful and sending good wishes her way. I had a neighbor I didn't know very well at all. She had a young kid and a boyfriend who yelled a lot. We exchanged numbers for some reason. She texted me out of the blue and asked to borrow money but wanted to meet me at a gas station instead of at the house. I assumed it was so I could just put gas in the tank but went and got cash. She was so squirrely when I got there and I felt like something was up. I gave her a 50 and I filled her tank. She kept saying I was helping her out so much and no one else would and that she would pay me back. I told her I don't lend money, it's a gift. I never saw her again. I have no idea what that was about, what she did with the money. I'd nearly forgotten about it. I hope she's okay. I was cleaning out my car at one of the big stops where they have pull-up parking with a vacuum hose on both sides. This car pulled in next to me trying to park in the space between the spots. Me being cynical, I'm annoyed and grumbling in my head. Turns out it was this little old lady. For some people the soft spot is kids or animals, but for me it's old people. Anyway, I helped her get her parking sorted and ended up vacuuming her car out as well. In my eyes it looked pretty spotless already. My grandma treated her car the same way. By the end she was in tears when saying her thank yous. What took me all of 10 minutes would have taken her much longer. Felt good. I used to walk with a blind student to class in undergrad. He could have gotten to class no problem, but said it was easier for him to have someone accompany him and it gave him someone to talk to. Followed a guy from the gas station to a McDonald's 10 minutes away to give him his gas cap that he'd forgotten. My brother is a heroin addict and has been homeless for 15 years. In November he wound up in a coma with severe blood poisoning and ultimately lost both of his legs to frostbite. Broke my heart because apparently frostbite is extremely common in the homeless community and a lot of those you see in wheelchairs, that is how they lost their limbs. So I put together 10 winter kits each with new socks, a beanie and gloves, a face mask, rain poncho, emergency blanket, water bottles, some food, chapstick and many hand, feet warmers. Kept them in my car and handed them out whenever I saw someone in need. Heart. Edit. Wow, woke up to such love, thank you. Whenever one of my old coworkers was having a bad day, I'd slip a $20 into their locker with a little note that said I hoped their day got better. I never signed my name and made sure to do it whenever no one else was around. Everyone thought it was one of the managers. Probably gave out well over $500 plus every year, but it was worth it.